silent and serene. A snow-covered city street glows with the warm promise of Christmas lights, the night air crisp and still. The car cuts through the stillness, its path illuminated by the festive glow of the city's Christmas lights. Inside the vehicle, Chris Quantum watches the familiar scenery, his eyes reflecting the soft glow of the city lights. A wave of nostalgia washes over Chris Quantum as he gazes at the familiar landscape. Chris Quantum's face is a canvas of reflection, the city lights painting his features with a soft, reminiscent glow. In the quiet of the car, Chris Quantum is lost in thought, the snowy streets and Christmas lights weaving a tapestry of memories. Under the cloak of night, a car edges into a sea of vehicles, each vying for space. Amidst the throng, Chris's eyes fix on the towering steeple, a beacon against the dark canvas. The church looms, its steeple a silent sentinel piercing the night. Illuminated against the night, the steeple stands as a testament to faith. Chris recognizes the solemn grandeur of the church, a place of reverence under the stars. In the dimly lit car, Chris leans forward, his gaze lost in thought. The passing streetlights cast shadows on Phoebe and Professor Quantum, their profiles etched in the night. Chris breaks the silence. "Is this where Grandpa used to take me to church?" Phoebe glances back, a nostalgic smile gracing her lips as she answers. "Yes, honey. Remember the Christmas pageant?" The car continues its journey through the night, carrying memories and unspoken words. Inside the car, shadows dance across Chris's face, mirroring the storm outside. Rain blurs the city lights, turning them into weeping eyes watching Chris and Joy. Joy sits beside Chris, her sadness a mirror to his own. Joy's voice cracks as she whispers, "I really miss Grandpa's Christmas stories." Chris nods, his voice heavy with grief. "Me too. Christmas won't be the same without him." The car plunges deeper into the night, carrying their shared sorrow through the rain-soaked streets. Under the cloak of night, the church entrance looms, consumed by an oppressive darkness. Jim Henderson greets Professor Quantum, his face etched with stress yet illuminated by a flicker of relief. Professor Quantum approaches, his silhouette framed against the dim, failing light of the church. Jim's eyes reflect a mix of urgency and hope as he nods to Professor Quantum, a silent plea for help. The heavy wooden doors of the church remain ominously shut, concealing mysteries within. Under the dim glow of a streetlight, Chris stands isolated near the family car, his unease palpable. His parents, mere silhouettes in the night, bustle around, unloading equipment as the looming church casts a long, silent shadow. Chris breaks the heavy silence, questioning, "How come we don't go to church?" His dad pauses, the weight of unspoken history hanging in the air as he responds. "We just never did, son." He shrugs, offering a simple, somewhat evasive explanation. "We were always pretty busy." Chris drifts into the silent church sanctuary, the stillness amplifying his solitude. Wreaths hang solemnly on the walls, their silent vigil a stark contrast to the festive season. In the corner, a Christmas tree towers, its lights twinkling like distant stars in the vast emptiness. The soft glow of the tree lights casts long shadows, turning the sanctuary into a cathedral of memories. The sanctuary echoes with unspoken words, each corner resonating with forgotten prayers. A profound silence descends, broken only by the faint hum of the Christmas lights, creating an atmosphere of hushed reverence. In the hushed sanctuary, Chris begins his solemn walk down the aisle, the silence amplifying his solitude. His eyes lift, drawn to the stained glass window, a symphony of color telling ancient stories. Bathed in soft light, the stained glass comes alive, each pane a vivid echo of faith and history. The life of Jesus unfolds, in radiant hues, a silent narrative of hope and redemption. The church sanctuary fades, replaced by a nostalgic golden light. Chris, a boy of 7, stands beside his grandfather, their hands clasped tightly. Sunlight pours through the high windows, a celestial spotlight. The air dances with dust, each mote a tiny memory. In the golden light, the sanctuary seems a haven of peace. The memory glows, a beacon in the sanctuary of Chris's mind. In the hushed sanctuary, sunlight filters through stained glass, illuminating dancing dust motes. Young Chris stands beside his grandfather, an old man with kind eyes. Young Chris looks up inquisitively. "Why do you come to the church when no one's here, Grandpa?" Grandfather smiles gently, a lifetime of wisdom etched in his face. With a twinkle in his eye, Grandfather shares, "Well, someone has to turn the lights on." In the church lobby, a shadow of concern falls over the Christmas preparations. The atmosphere shifts as news breaks. The boy slated to embody the Christmas angel falls ill. A ripple of hushed panic begins to spread among the gathered members. Frustration mounts as they realize their production is on the verge of collapse. The weight of responsibility crushes their festive spirits, leaving a palpable sense of crisis. The joyous anticipation of the Christmas play is threatened as the community faces unexpected adversity. In the church lobby, Gizmo's innocent enthusiasm shines as he eagerly volunteers. He attempts a transformation, his ambition soaring beyond his grasp. Wires tangle around him, a chaotic mess of ambition and flawed execution. His wings sputter, failing to capture the divine. The effect is less angelic, more like a malfunctioning Christmas decoration. The grand gesture falls into disarray, a spectacle of good intentions gone awry. Inside the warmly lit church lobby, shadows dance as conversations fill the air. Joy's face lights up with inspiration. "Maybe Chris could do it." The adults nod in enthusiastic agreement. "Good idea, Joy." Bursting with eagerness, Joy declares, "I'll go get him." In the hushed sanctuary, Joy discovers Chris lost in thought, a Bible clutched in his hands. The dim light casts long shadows, heightening the solemnity of the moment as Chris remains absorbed in his thoughts. Joy approaches cautiously, her footsteps barely audible in the vast, silent space. Chris continues to sit, unaware of Joy's presence, his expression a mix of worry and contemplation. The weight of his thoughts seems to press heavily upon him as he sits motionless in the pew. Joy watches him, her heart heavy with concern for the troubled man before her. Bathed in the ethereal glow of stained glass windows, Chris sits alone, lost in thought. Moonlight dances around him, illuminating the sacred space. His gaze drifts across the empty sanctuary, a poignant question forming in his mind. "I wonder why Grandpa came here so often." In the hushed sanctuary, Joy prepares to ask a life-altering question. Suddenly, Superbook flares to life, bathing the church in otherworldly light. Chris is caught off guard, eyes widening as the room distorts around him. Joy gasps, her face illuminated by the strange light as the familiar world dissolves. Gizmo floats in the radiant glow, ready for an adventure through time. Chris, Joy, and Gizmo reach the outskirts of Bethsaida, the air thick with anticipation. Desperation etches the faces of a family as they guide a blind man, their hope dwindling with each step. Their weary journey is driven by a single, fervent desire to find Jesus and seek a miracle. Whispers of hope and faith echo through the small crowd, each heart yearning for divine intervention. In the heart of Bethsaida, the family's plea hangs heavy in the air, a testament to their unwavering resolve. The family hopes Jesus will appear and change their lives. In the serene countryside near Bethsaida, Jesus stands among his disciples, a figure of calm amidst the gathering throng. With a tender gesture, Jesus gently grasps the arm of a blind man. He guides the blind man away from the pressing curiosity of the crowd. The two figures move slowly, surrounded by the vast, quiet landscape. In the serene countryside near Bethsaida, Jesus extends a gentle touch to the blind man's eyes, creating a moment filled with quiet anticipation. The blind man slowly opens his eyes, blinking against the unfamiliar brightness. Jesus asks with compassion, "What can you see?" The blind man responds, his voice filled with confusion. "I see people, but they look like trees walking." In the tranquil countryside near Bethsaida, Jesus extends his hands towards the man. A gesture of profound hope. A second touch. A second chance. Jesus repeats his healing gesture, infusing the man with renewed hope. Light floods the man's eyes, clarity returning with a rush as his sight is restored. He cries out as the world sharpens into focus, filled with the sheer joy of sight. His vision clear, the countryside bursts into vibrant life, a world reborn through newfound eyes. The landscape unfolds around him, every detail now crisp and vivid, a testament to the miracle he has received. Under the relentless sun near Bethsaida, Jesus walks along the dusty road, his disciples following him. Jesus stops, a thoughtful expression deepening on his face as he turns to his followers. His voice carries in the still air. "Who do people say I am?" Disciple 1 steps forward, answering with conviction. "Some say you are John the Baptist." Disciple 2 adds, his voice tinged with reverence. "Others say Elijah." Disciple 3 chimes in, his tone earnest. "And still others, one of the prophets of long ago." Beneath the sun-drenched sky, Jesus stands before his disciples, his gaze filled with searching curiosity. Jesus challenges his followers, his voice ringing with earnest expectation. "But who do you say I am?" Peter steps forward, his voice resolute, his eyes locking with Jesus. "You are the Messiah." A moment of profound affirmation hangs in the air, the weight of Peter's declaration settling upon them all. Under the relentless sun, Jesus and his disciples tread the dusty road toward Bethsaida, his countenance a study in resolve and grief. His voice firm, Jesus declares, "See that you tell no one about this." In solemn tones, Jesus reveals the grim fate that awaits him. The Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and he must be killed, and on the third day be raised to life. The weight of prophecy hangs heavy in the air as Jesus speaks of suffering, rejection, and ultimate resurrection. On the dusty road near Bethsaida, Peter's face is a canvas of deep concern as he stands beside Jesus. His voice laced with urgency, Peter grabs Jesus' arm, his grip firm and insistent. Jesus stops abruptly, his body turning with swift intensity. His eyes pierce through Peter, conveying a profound and unsettling depth. Jesus' voice cuts through the air with divine authority. "Get behind me, Satan." His tone shifts, revealing a cosmic perspective. You are seeing things merely from a human point of view, not from God's. Superbook whisks them away to the ancient Jericho road. A blind beggar, Bartimaeus, sits by the roadside, his face a mask of despair. Bartimaeus strains, his ears searching for any sign amid the bustling sounds of passers-by. Bartimaeus cries out with raw desperation, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." His plea pierces the air, a beacon of hope in his dark world. The Jericho road bursts with life as a multitude of voices blend into a chaotic symphony, each seeking its own purpose. Amidst the throng, Bartimaeus sits alone, his sightless eyes turned to the sky, his hand outstretched in desperate supplication. The crowd attempts to silence Bartimaeus' cries, their faces etched with annoyance and pity, yet his voice rises above the din. Suddenly, a hush falls as Jesus appears, his presence radiating a profound serenity that stills the chaos. With a gentle gesture, Jesus calls for Bartimaeus, beckoning him into the light of hope. The crowd parts, their faces turning with anticipation as they await the unfolding miracle, a moment pregnant with possibility. On the Jericho road, Bartimaeus makes a sudden, desperate move. He throws aside his cloak, a symbol of his former life. Bartimaeus propels himself upward. Driven by newfound hope, Bartimaeus rises to his feet. He stands tall, ready to pursue his destiny. Dust hangs heavy in the air as Jesus halts on the Jericho road, the crowd's clamor fading into a distant hum. His gaze pierces the shadows, finding Bartimaeus, who sits cloaked in darkness by the roadside. Jesus' voice cuts through the silence, a question of profound simplicity. "What do you want me to do for you?" Bartimaeus' plea echoes with desperate longing. "Rabbi, I want to see." A moment of breathless anticipation hangs in the sun-drenched air. On the dusty Jericho road, Jesus speaks words of profound healing. Bartimaeus' eyes widen, blinking against the sudden brightness, as a look of stunned joy washes over him. Go, for your faith has healed you. He rises unsteadily, his legs testing new strength. He finds his footing, a wide grin splitting his face as he gazes at Jesus. Bartimaeus looks up at the sky, marveling at the world reborn around him. The travelers arrive in Jerusalem, where the ancient stones of the temple courtyard whisper tales of faith and conflict. In the heart of the temple courtyard, tension hangs heavy as the Pharisees interrogate a man touched by miraculous healing. The healed man stands defiant, his gaze unwavering as he recounts the miracle that restored his sight. The air crackles with unspoken accusations as the Pharisees challenge the authenticity of the miracle, their skepticism palpable. In the temple courtyard, a gathering of Pharisees simmers with barely suppressed rage. Their faces, etched with fury, reflect the depths of their discontent. Wild gestures underscore their seething murmur, a prelude to potential eruption. The courtyard buzzes with their collective anger, a palpable tension hanging in the air. Their low voices, a menacing undercurrent, threaten to shatter the calm of the day. Each face is a mask of barely controlled fury, ready to unleash at any moment. Under the radiant Jerusalem sun, the temple courtyard awakens. A man stands tall, his spirit renewed amidst the ancient stones. A crowd gathers, their murmurs weaving through the sacred space. His voice echoes with unwavering conviction. If this man were not from God, he couldn't have done it. The crowd's faces reflect a mix of awe and disbelief at his bold declaration. The healed man's words hang in the air, challenging the very foundations of belief. In the heart of Jerusalem, the Pharisees' fury erupts, their faces twisted in a storm of anger. They seize him, their combined force a brutal wave, casting him out of the sacred temple grounds. He stumbles, his balance faltering as he fights to remain upright against their relentless assault. The heavy gates loom, a formidable barrier as they thrust him violently into the bustling courtyard. He is pushed forward, nearly collapsing, his figure unsteady amidst the throng of people. The bustling courtyard swallows him, his isolation stark against the backdrop of daily life unfolding around him. The Jerusalem streets hum with life, a sea of faces flowing through the ancient city. Amidst the throng, Jesus approaches, a beacon of serenity in the bustling chaos. Jesus stops, his gaze direct and knowing. Jesus speaks, his voice cutting through the noise. Do you believe in the Son of God? The question hangs in the air, a challenge and an invitation. The busy street fades into background as the weight of belief settles upon the crowd. Jerusalem basks in golden sunlight, the air alive with the scent of spices and the murmur of daily life. The ancient Jerusalem streets pulse with life, the air thick with the scent of spices. A man pauses, his voice echoing through the crowded streets. Who is he, Lord, that I may believe in him? His question hangs in the air, a plea for faith amidst the bustling city. The golden light casts long shadows as the ancient stones absorb the weight of his words. In the bustling streets of Jerusalem, a moment of profound connection begins as Jesus turns, his gaze filled with compassion. His eyes reflect not judgment, but a deep, understanding love. In a voice that resonates with gentle authority, Jesus speaks, "You have seen him." His words hang in the air, a promise of recognition and revelation. He continues, his voice unwavering, "And he is speaking to you." The weight of his words settles, inviting reflection and a deeper understanding of unseen connections. Under the relentless Jerusalem sun, a man crumbles, his body succumbing to the harsh reality of the dusty street. His face, a canvas of raw desperation, turns skyward, seeking solace from the unforgiving heavens. In a surge of faith amidst despair, the man cries out, "Yes, Lord, I believe." His voice echoes through the ancient streets, a blend of surrender and newfound conviction resonating in the arid air. Suddenly, a blinding light engulfs everything, erasing the familiar. The light fades, revealing the stage of the church, now starkly illuminated. They stand motionless, the echo of the light still resonating in the silence. A sense of disorientation hangs heavy as reality realigns around them. The sanctuary's familiar architecture seems to press in, a silent testament to their return. The air is thick with unspoken questions, their journey's mark etched in their expressions. In the dimly lit sanctuary, Gizmo, adorned in a makeshift angel costume, prepares for his moment in the spotlight. Joy rushes toward Gizmo, her face etched with worry and determination. The sanctuary awaits, silent and expectant, as Gizmo steels himself. Joy's urgent whispers fill the air, a plea carried on the quiet. Gizmo takes a deep breath, ready to step into the light and face the unknown. The heavy air of the sanctuary thickens with anticipation as Gizmo moves. In the hushed sanctuary, Chris's gaze is drawn to the nativity display, a scene of humble adoration bathed in soft light. The figures of Mary, Joseph, and the shepherds surround the infant Jesus, each illuminated by a serene glow. A profound realization dawns on Chris. He understands. Jesus came to give sight not just to the physically blind, but to illuminate the darkness within all. In the solemn quiet of the church sanctuary, Chris moves with purpose. Chris approaches the pageant director, his face betraying a mix of determination and resolve. A moment of quiet hangs in the air as Chris prepares to speak. With measured conviction, Chris declares, "I'll do it." Chris's quiet confidence resonates, filling the silent sanctuary. In the hushed darkness of the church sanctuary, a lone spotlight pierces through, illuminating Chris. Draped in flowing white robes, he appears almost ethereal, yet a palpable nervousness betrays his divine guise. Ornate wings, strapped tightly to his back, hint at a celestial transformation about to unfold. The weight of expectation bears down as he shifts slightly beneath the spotlight's intense glare. A subtle tremor runs through him, a stark contrast to the majestic figure he is meant to embody. His eyes, wide with apprehension, search the shadows, seeking either solace or escape. The church sanctuary glows under soft light, radiating warmth and peace. His parents sit in the audience, their eyes reflecting a profound love. Their faces glow with pride, a silent testament to their unwavering support. Soft light illuminates their features, casting a warm, familial glow. Love and pride fill the sacred space, a palpable blessing surrounding the scene. In the dimly lit sanctuary, a palpable sense of anticipation fills the air as candlelight dances across the expectant faces in the pews. Chris gazes out at the congregation, his expression a mixture of solemnity and joy. His voice resonates through the sacred space, carrying the weight of his message. "I bring you good news that will bring great joy to all people. The Savior, yes, the Messiah, the Lord has been born today in Bethlehem, the city of David." The Christmas pageant concludes, its final scene dissolving into memory as the choir stands. Joy radiates from their faces, alight with the spirit of Christmas. The congregation stirs, hymnals raised in anticipation, ready to unite in song. Soft light streams through the stained glass windows, painting the scene with hues of reverence and peace. The choir sings, their voices blending in harmonious unity. The scene is bathed in the radiant glow of faith, hope, and love, echoing through the sacred space. The church sanctuary stands in quiet reverence, shadows dancing in the dim, sacred light. Chris moves quietly, his footsteps barely audible in the echoing space. He slides into the pew, joining his parents in the solemn stillness. The stained glass casts long, colorful shadows, painting the scene with strokes of light and mystery. A sense of peace envelops the family, a silent communion in the house of worship. The sanctuary remains still, a sacred space for reflection and connection. Within the solemn embrace of the church sanctuary, shadows dance in the dim light. As a father's pride envelops his son, the son stands tall, the weight of the moment etched upon his face, as his father's touch anchors him in the sacred space. In the hushed stillness, their figures stand as beacons of hope, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight, their bond unwavering. The sanctuary echoes with unspoken promises, as the father's reassuring embrace speaks volumes, sealing their destinies together. Their shared gaze pierces the veil of uncertainty, their hearts entwined in a tapestry of faith and devotion, as the sanctuary bears witness to their sacred union. Bathed in candlelight, a family gathers in the hushed sanctuary, their faces illuminated by a gentle, golden glow. Their voices blend, a heartfelt chorus of joy to the world resonating through the sacred space. Though imperfect, their unity is a beacon. The sanctuary embraces their song, every corner echoing with the warmth of their shared devotion. In the heart of the church, their voices rise, carrying the melody of faith and togetherness into the silent night. The final notes linger, leaving a profound sense of peace and unity in the softly lit sanctuary. The church sanctuary glows, filled with a powerful symphony of voices. The voices rise in unison, vibrating through the sacred space. Harmonious tones echo off the stained glass windows, painting the scene with light and sound. The music ascends towards the vaulted ceiling, filling every corner with its resonance. Each voice blends into a rich chorus, creating a tapestry of sound. The sanctuary transforms into a vessel of collective expression, united in song. In the hushed sanctuary, soft light paints the stained glass windows, casting an ethereal glow on the silent space. A lone figure kneels at the altar, shrouded in the heavy silence of unspoken regrets and hopeful redemption. The air vibrates with the weight of untold stories, carrying the promise of a light long foretold. A heart is open, finally seeing the light,